What's up, guys? We have an awesome video for you today. I'm going to share the full story of how I use social circle game to sleep with one of the hottest girls I ever have in my life. At the very least, she was in the top 10 with all the screenshots from start to finish. Alright, story time. So this tale may be a little long and convoluted, but I encourage you guys to watch till the very end because there's going to be some very interesting lessons here, and I promise you the payoff is going to be worth it. Alright, so this begins with a girl who I hooked up with on Hinge. We'll call her S for anonymity reasons. And this was just a casual Hinge hookup. We met when I first moved to Miami, I think 2017 or so. And the sex was decent, but me and her were actually, we really got along well. So we decided after having sex to just be friends, right? And again, there's not a strong sexual connection, but there was a strong, friendship connection. It's called that way. And this is, as a side note, is my version of being friends with girls. I really don't think that a straight guy can befriend with an attractive girl if there's no sex, because it's just going to be always lingering between them. But once you get sex out of the way, then that's a different story. So I have quite a few female friends in my life, but they're all girls who I've had sex with or girls who are related to me. It's either one or the other. So we decided to be friends, and I would tell her about the girls I'm seeing. She'll tell me about the guys. We kind of help each other out and give each other tips and whatnot. So it was a mutually advantageous relationship. And she had this really, really hot friend who was very much my type. Blonde, tattoos, and a juicy, big booty, which is, something I'm very much into, as anyone who watches this channel knows. The problem is that her friend, we'll call the friend R, lived across the country, right? So the situation was geographically impossible. And I would always hit up S and I would be like, come on, when is your friend coming to visit? When is your friend coming to visit? Circa spring break 2000, I believe this was 18, S finally says, hey dude, I got good news for you. My friend, the one that you have a crush on, is coming to visit. I was like, no way, you gotta hook me up. So she hits up her friend. She says, hey, one of my really good guy friends in Miami is single and thinks you're cute. Would you want to, meet him? And then so R is like, oh, send me a picture of him. Sends her my picture, and she's like, yeah, he seems cute. I'd be interested in talking to him. I'd be interested in meeting him. So she's like, oh, cool. So S sends me R's number and says, here, she says that you can text her. And this is where this begins. So I text her, R, and I say, hey, it's Alex, S's friend. She says, hey, what's up? I say, I hear I get to see that beautiful face of yours soon. So again, keeping things fun and flirty. She says, haha, yeah, we're about to leave New York. I say, nice, have a good flight. Thanks, what are you up to tonight? I say, finishing up a bit of work. You? Oh, what do you do? And our flight was super delayed, so we're like halfway there, sadly. I say, damn, that East Coast weather, male stripping, ... and internet marketing, I guess. So with social circle type of shit, you do want to keep things, still fun and flirty. You don't want to just completely leave your balls, in the door, but you don't want to go overboard. You don't want to overplay your card. Like, you don't want to go overly sexual and creep the girl out. So you have to find that fine line. So I'm not going to say anything that's explicitly sexual here, but I'm also not going to be totally platonic, because I do want to communicate my intentions, but I'm not going to communicate them explicitly. I'm going to communicate them implicitly. So she says, yeah, we were delayed for weather, and then all the people, blah, 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 start finding, wow, a man of many talents. I say, haha, shit, what did you do, girl? So here I'm teasing her playfully. Obviously it wasn't me, lol. So how do you live in Miami? How do you know S? Yep, I'm in Brickell, met S through mutual friends on New York Eve. So S insisted that I tell her that we met through mutual friends. She did not want her friend knowing that she met a guy on Hinge. And even though I hate these stupid cover stories, I'm going to respect her wishes, obviously. So I said that. Oh, fun. A bunch of my friends last spring break stayed at the W's that near you. I say, cool, it's pretty close, like 10, 15-minute walk. I can't wait to be there. Low-key salty, it's so late. I say, good thing we have all weekend to make up for it. So assuming that we're going to hang out, what have you got planned while you're here? Oh, not entirely sure. I think we're going to go to Story, which is a club, tomorrow night and going out with S, so you should definitely join us. Now, the last thing I want to do is go out with like 5 or 10 girls when they're trying to have a girls' night out, because even though I know S is not going to cock block me, I don't know about the other girls. So chicks, especially in large groups, quite often they will cock block each other. So it's better if I can just hang out with R one-on-one. So I say, unfortunately, I got to catch up on some work tomorrow and part of the day Friday. How about we have a drink after, though? I should be done by 6. Yeah, I'm down. Where do you like to go? Anywhere in particular? I say, sounds good. I know a few cool spots in Brickell. And then no response, so then I double text her, finishing up work a bit early. What are you up to? Hey, just getting back home from dinner. Lol, what are you up to tonight? I say, just chilling. You should swing by after story for a late night glass of wine. Haha, you should come out instead. So again, don't want to hang out with a bunch of girls at a club. So here I make a little playful excuse. I wouldn't want to show you up with my stripper moves and no ticket. We can hang out tomorrow though. Lol, okay, down. Text her the next day, how was story? Really fun. I met a bunch of friends from school. What are you up to today? I say, nice. Gonna finish up a bit of work and grab a drink with you. So that's my playful way of, confirming the date. Hey, sorry. Come out with us tonight. I think my friends and I are gonna meet up with S. So here she's like kind of low-key flaking on me, and she just invited me out with her girls. I say, I was sort of looking forward to my one-on-one art time. And she doesn't respond. And then you can see the next screenshot here is, did you make it home okay? So you might be wondering, what the fuck happened in between these two screenshots? So here we go behind the scenes with my conversation with S. So you can see that I was actually running most of my texts by S because she knows her friend better than I do, and a girl, probably is going to be able to, tell you what her friend likes better than a bunch of dudes. Hey, if you guys are finding value from this video, then make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. All right, back to the video. So here, you can see I say sent. She left me on red. She says her phone died. We were texting, and then she just called me from her friend's phone. Either that or I don't know what's happening. It was weird. So you can see that, quite often we think when a girl's flake on us, it's something personal. She found a better guy or something like that. But majority of the time, it's something really stupid, like, she lost her purse or her phone died or something like that. I say, okay. She says, I want to be, so here we're just talking about some random shit, back and forth. This is completely unrelated. And then she says, also, she doesn't want to meet at your place since she's never met you. So here she's communicating to me about her friend. I say, lol, I'll meet her at a bar. That's what I offered. She says, oh yeah, she said she should have done that, but forgot to respond, but I'm staying with her tonight. So I told her she should do that tomorrow. She's like, yeah, I'll meet him in public, then go home with him from there. But that's why she didn't respond. I told her I wanted to drink earlier in the day, so tomorrow it'll probably work out. So here, fortunately, I have someone behind the scenes who's helping me, kind of get the conversation going again. I say, oh, that's totally cool. You think tomorrow's my best bet? Yeah, because it's too late tonight. So here I'm just kind of being a little needy. I say, okay, but she's definitely down for tomorrow, lol. I hate misconnections. She says, yes, and I know, but I'll be with her all day tomorrow. She'll get figured out. Say, sweet, thank you. And then I get this. Also, she didn't mean to ignore you. She's going to apologize. She's like, I want to meet him and I want to fuck him. And I told her how I told you she was uncomfortable meeting during the day. And you said that's why he tried to meet at a bar. And she admitted it was her fault. So I say, nice, I look forward to it, no apology necessary. I'm not a bitter bitch, LOL. So you can see that even when a girl knows it's her fault, right, she still sometimes might not hit you up because it's just awkward when she didn't respond to your text. And girls, amongst all things, they hate confrontations, they hate awkwardness. So that's why in a situation like this, just because I had the friend behind the scenes, that's what made it, turn the whole thing from a flake to me actually meeting up with a girl. And a lot of these times when you get flaked on a situation like this, it is one of those unfortunate misconnections type of thing. It's not a deliberate, slight the girl's doing. This is what the red pill community gets wrong. They take things way too fucking personally. So she says she doesn't want to seem like she's ignoring you. I think she's very nice. Cool. Nothing will prove that, like meeting me tomorrow. Yeah, I told her that she needs to do that tomorrow, like way before we go out at night, because I'll feel bad if you guys don't hook up since I said it was a done deal. So I say, lol, word, what are you guys doing tonight? Here we're just going back and forth. And then, I believe this was like 3 years ago, but I believe S at this point calls me and says, hey, so we're at a club, you should come join us. We wound up going out. And I'm like, yo, I can't, I thought we agreed that she was going to come meet me. And, oh yeah, okay, so this is in between those two screenshots. So here she says, okay, she said we can go to a nearby bar where you won't have to pay cover. So basically what happens is R wants to meet me. They're at the club, they're drinking, but she's really nervous to go by herself and she wants to have a friend there, something like that. All right, getting dressed and heading over. Give me the cliff notes on her backstory again because S came up with this whole giant backstory that I had to stick to. So here we're just reviewing the backstory. It's just, it's kind of a lot here. Here we're just joking around. I'm telling her that I'm actually, she says, Oh my God, she's so nervous. I said, tell her I can talk in a gay guy voice. She said, yeah, that'll be a huge turn on. How about Russian? I'm actually a tad nervous too. Almost never happens. I'm leaving after one drink. LMAO, don't worry. So fortunately, S is a good wing woman. So here what happens is that we go out, and so I pick those two girls up, S and R. R is really fucking hot. Me and S are joking around. Then we go to a bar, buy them a drink. S hangs out with us a few minutes, and then she just casually leaves. And there's just me and R. We hang out for like 5-10 minutes. We start making out. I pick her up, put her on my lap. We start making out more, pull her back to my place, and we smash. And it was like super easy. One of the easiest dates I've ever gotten with one of the hottest girls, you know, at least top 10. And again, a huge component of the reason why that happened is because I had that in. I had that, you know, it's still, I had to run good game. I still had to, you know, not lose my shit. I still have to be patient. I still have to be charming and charismatic. But because I had that big in, that was able to give me a big leg up. And here we're going to fast forward a little bit to my conversation with R. She says, yes, nice meeting you. Did I leave my watch in your room? I say, likewise, and yes, I found it. Thanks, I'll have to get that before I leave LL for sure. What are you up to today, tonight? We're going to Lil Wayne tonight. What are you up to? Probably going to go out around Brickell with a few amigos. I'll be down for another late night rendezvous, though. LMAO, I could be down. Could. I say my tongue is feeling strong, real strong. So this is a good line to use after you've either established a sexual frame or you've hooked up with a girl. She says, haha, oh, you should pick me up later. Absolutely. So here's just logistics. And here I pick her up the second night and we hook up again. And she sleeps over second night. Unfortunately, she did have to fly out the next day. So that was the end of our little romance. All right. Hopefully you guys found this video valuable. I think there's a few very important takeaways here that I want to point out. First of all, I hear the concept of social circle game a lot. And I think a lot of people use this as an excuse to just bullshit and do nothing. Like, oh, well, you know, I'm not going to go do cold approach. I'm building my social circle game. Meanwhile, they're hanging out with like 5 other dudes who are also trying to get laid, right? So social circle game really only works when it's with other girls, and it's other girls who are cool, who are going to hook you up with their female friends. It's not usually going to be guys who are going to hook you up with their female friends. Although I have had that happen a few times, but it's always like the high value cool guys. It's not going to be your random pickup bros. They're going to be hooking you up with their, you know, their girls, right? So I do think the concept of social circle game, again, is highly, I don't want to say overrated, it's highly overplayed. However, if you do it right, like you hang out with cool people who have other cool, hot friends they want to hook you up with, they can work, and it gives you a huge edge, especially if you fucked some of the friend group, right? So if you're just the guy that's known as being like, you know, the asexual weirdo, then no one's going to hook you up with anyone because, you know, I've already fucked S, and, you know, she knew I was good in bed, you know, she was like, okay, yeah, of course, I'd be happy to refer Alex to R, right? Because, you know, he wins, my friend wins, right? I know he's not going to be a bad lay. So that's when shit starts to play out. So that's why I highly encourage you not to just play it safe and be like, oh, well, it's my social circle. I can't hook up with anybody. No, like you want to use that to your advantage, and you do want to be, you know, actually a sexual person, not just some asexual eunuch who's hanging out with a bunch of people who are fucking and you're not fucking, or in a situation where no one's fucking. So I think that's the first thing. The second thing is when you're texting your social circle, you know, friends, and this I think can apply for coworkers, a lot of other situations, you want to find that fine mix between, you know, playing it safe and being overly sexual. So you want to be, you can see I'm fun and flirty, I'm playful, but I'm not explicitly sexual, right? There's nothing here that could come off as creepy, you know, if taken in the wrong light. It's all like fairly safe and fairly innocent, but at the same time, I still show my intent. So that's kind of the balance you want to play. You also want to use your in, whatever in you have in the social circle, to your advantage. You can see I very heavily leveraged S, and I was completely unashamed, unabashed about it, you know, to help me get what I want. And that's, you know, the whole point of having a social circle is because it can help you achieve situations that you want. You can't be afraid to leverage your social circle. At the same time, of course, you know, if you want to keep that social circle, you do have to give something back. You can't just be taking, you have to give as well. And I think the last lesson is you can see just how like fragile some of these situations are. Like even though me and we like each other, we want to hook up, right? You can see how just like a set of weird circumstances can cause the whole thing not to happen. Like her just going to the club, her forgetting her phone. And honestly, if I didn't have that social circle in, that would have been a misconnection. So I think those are the big lessons here. Hopefully you guys, again, enjoyed this video. Show us some love by smashing the like button, hitting subscribe, and clicking the bell for notification. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time.